What's up, guy? Brad, Your Way Lawn Care. Been roughly a year since I got started on my lawn care venture, so I'm gonna put together a video. Probably gonna be a little long. I'm gonna try to keep it about 20-30 minutes if I can, but I'm gonna talk about a few things. How I got started, what equipment I had when I got started, what equipment I got now, uh, the upgrades I made, and kind of the reason behind the upgrades. I'm going to talk about how I got my accounts that I have. What else are we going to talk about? Let's see. We're going to talk about the equipment that I'm looking to get next year, the growth I'm looking to have next year, and some things that I've learned the hard way, and some things that personally I think that others should avoid if possible. So, I started this adventure around September, October of last year. So they gave me about 2 months of cutting, roughly, here in North Carolina. So we started out with a John Deere 915B 54 zero-turn mower, and a sorry guys, I know the sun had gotten your eyes, blinding me there. A Honda push mower, a Echo SRM 225 trimmer, and a Stihl HS46CE, and also a Husqvarna 350 BT backpack blower. So I started with those. Got through about November with that. Put my Echo trimmer up for sale. Echo is just really not my thing. It's not a comfortable trimmer for me. The way the loop handle is and the way it's balanced, it doesn't fit me very well. So I traded that with a guy for a Husqvarna 125 or 128 LD, the attachment series you get at Lowe's. He also had a edger attachment for it, so I made an even trade for the two of those. Finished out my season with that. See, I ended up selling the Husqvarna and bought my Stihl FS90R due to a large brush job that I had to do to clear some stuff, so I needed a blade attachment. So I went with that and made some good money off of that, and got me through the winter time and whatnot on my lawnmower payments. One thing I will say, guys, don't jump into buying everything and financing everything if you do not have another means of income. I was working at the fire department at the time, which I no longer work there full time. I'm only a part-time employee now. I rely solely off of my lawn care business. So with the fire department income, I had income to make the mower payment, regardless of if the lawn care venture worked or not. You know, I was going to continue to make my mower payment and keep the lawnmower, you know, for my personal use at home. So don't jump into it if you don't have another means of income and finance a bunch of stuff and end up belly up, you know, in finance and everything. So I ended the season last year with about 5 accounts total, which season ends for us. You know, it can end anywhere from the middle of October to the end of November into December, depending on when our weather breaks. I'm in central North Carolina, so we're very, very unpredictable here as to what our weather may be, and when our season may start and when our season may end. I try to average everything. If I do flat rate billing off of 34 cuts in the season, excuse me, which is by the time you figure out your dormancy during your dry hot periods, it ends up balancing out to about 34 to 36 cuts. So if we go over 34 cuts, they understand that, you know, it's added, it'll be added in. If we're under 34 cuts, we're just under 34 cuts in the season. So early last year, I guess January, February, I started advertising for this season here, the 2014 season. I done my advertising via Facebook, mostly, which turned out to give me a bunch of leads and a bunch of clients as well. I use Facebook on their like community pages, yard sale pages, and just advertise locally through that. I do not pay for any ads on Facebook. I don't boost my posts or anything. I just done regular advertising, and it worked out great. I don't know, I guess I had about 40 clients at one time this year, and I have cut a bunch of them. Some of them that were paying late every time, couple that didn't pay. That's another thing, guys. You're gonna get burned. Face the fact of it. It's gonna happen. You're not gonna avoid it. But I'll talk about it a little later, how to avoid it and how to, at least be sure you can get your money back. Also, I use Craigslist. Craigslist turned out pretty much nothing for me. Passed out a few flyers. They didn't really do anything. I think I got a total of 2 calls off of flyers. I did door hangers. About every door hanger I put out, around houses I was cutting it, I at least got a phone call out of them. And I would say 50% of those I ended up cutting, and pretty much all of those I still cut now. Something I will tell you guys, don't worry about dropping a customer. Don't worry about losing a customer, because where there's one that you drop or one that you lose, you're going to pick up 2 to replace them. So don't worry about it. So here we are at the end of this season. Some equipment that I've got, kind of got off topic, I guess, there a little bit. I've ended up buying a Toro Turfmaster 30-inch commercial mower. I now have a Stihl BG86 handheld blower. Also have a Stihl BR600 Magnum backpack blower. I now have 2 FS94R trimmers and a FC95 straight shaft edger. I no longer have the 90R. I ended up buying a 94 when they come out and have fell in love with those trimmers. Plenty of power, very lightweight trimmers. So, I went to them. Have been very pleased with them as well. So I sold the 90R for pretty much what I paid for it, because I hadn't really used it a whole lot because of the 94. So now I have 2 of them, and that's what I run with on a daily basis. My trimmer rack is a Green Touch 3-position trimmer rack. Great trimmer racks. Your equipment's locked nicely, very secure as well. So those are great. I also have a Stihl KM head trimmer attachment that I use on the FC95 trimmer. I also used it on the 94R the other day, and it worked great. So that's what I got now. Some things I'm looking at next year. Looking at going to the Toro Grandstand models. Looking at the 36-inch Grandstand, also probably a 60-inch Grandstand or a 52-inch Grandstand. As long as everything works out and I keep going the way I'm going. I'll also be going to a 14-foot tandem axle trailer versus the 12-foot single axle that I have now. So that'll be nice, a little less wear and tear on my vehicle as well, because I have a braking axle on there. Equipment wise, I think that's about it for what I got now. What I plan on getting next year, talked about the grandstand, the trailer. Also probably going to get another BR600. Probably also going to get a KM series. More than likely that'll be a 130, KM 130 from Stihl, with several attachments that I want for that. I want a trimmer attachment, I want an edger attachment, just a few things to kind of have some redundancy in my equipment if something happens. Also next year plan on hiring a full-time person to work with me. Me and my dad have been talking. He's looking something else to do. He's thinking about going into this. He's worked with me some here and there. He's been asking a lot of questions about how much, how would it work, how much will I make, whatnot. I think he's ready for something different in life. So probably going to try to help him get started. I don't think he wants to do it next year. Who knows, he may. He just started thinking about it, the hardest thing doing it, like I've always said, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. If he gets into it, I'll definitely help him get started. Hopefully I have enough accounts, I can give him enough account to get him going good to where he won't have to worry about anything. I also plan on targeting the neighborhood where I live at now next year. Plans on being one of my big focuses. Got about 1,300 homes where I live at. It's a pretty high-end subdivision, I guess you could call it. Community, whatever you want to call itself. But I'd like to get plenty of accounts in here, as many as I can. I plan on going door to door twice with flyers, probably in January-ish, and then probably again like the first week or so of March, which is when everything starts popping out. Also in that first week or so of March, I'm going to go to a couple more subdivisions that are kind of attached to ours, and also right here in the area, and try to hang another 10,000 or so door hangers door to door. I hope to have at least 100 residentials out of this. That's my minimum goal. I would love to get a couple hundred out of it, and just go all out, buy the equipment, and let my dad take a second crew and go with it. That would be ideal. Also looking at some commercial properties. I'd like to have several commercial accounts. I would love to have somewhere around $50,000 to $60,000 in commercials, just on a few small accounts that are yearly payout. So I know I got that money coming in 12 months out of the year, which would be awesome. If I can do that, I'm probably going to buy a pickup truck. More than likely it'll be a Ford F-250, extended cab, short bed, four-wheel drive with the 6.2 liter gas motor in it. So that's where I look to go. So some of the things that I've learned this past year. This can be a fun topic. So Geek to Freak has said it before. If somebody calls you in the middle of the season, says my lawn care guy just stopped showing up and cutting that grass, there's probably a dadgum good reason that guy stopped showing up to cut their grass. If they tell you it on the phone, end the conversation. Don't even go over there and look at it. If they tell you why you're there, in the process, leave right then, because it's not going to be a good outcome for you. Um, I had two people like that about the same time. One of them I've still got, has been a good client. Can't complain about them at all. You know, so that may be one of your rare instances where it actually works out. The other one still owed me money. I got burned on it. So they paid me for 2 months just fine, and the third month was extremely late, and the fourth month I still ain't seen yet. So another thing, if somebody tells you that they want a really nice edge on their yard, they're looking for you to cut it every 2 weeks. If they haven't just moved into that house, you're probably not going to do it but one time. Somebody says, I want a good edge the first time you come and it's really overgrown, tell them up front that it's going to take several visits to get a edge back in shape. Don't go out there, bust your butt, spend an hour out there trying to get an edge looking good, because that's going to be the only time you go out there. They're probably going to pay you. They may not pay you, and they're not going to call you back, or they're going to call you and tell you they've got somebody else, or they're going to do something different or whatnot. So don't waste your time. It's not going to end up being good. One-time services. I've done a couple, not many. I try to avoid them, to be honest with you. Big overgrown stuff that just looks like crap, 2 foot tall, I definitely avoid. I've got too much money and too nice of equipment to go out there and put it in that stuff and risk tearing it up. You know, that client probably going to use you one time only, pay you ever how much you charge them to clean it up, and that's going to be it. So you're going to tear your equipment up, put overabundance of strain on it, wear on it, that's unneeded. So avoid them. You got good paying clients that need your equipment week to week, so don't mess with those. Every now and then it's not a bad thing, but don't make a habit of it, especially if they're really overgrown and you're going to tear your stuff up. Landscape jobs. Landscape jobs can make you a lot of money really fast. Know what you're doing, guys. Don't go out there and halfway something that you don't know what's going on with. If you know about retaining wall, put a retaining wall up. I've done retaining walls, I've done sod, I've done some of it all over the years. One thing I will not mess with is an irrigation system. Don't ask me, I'm not going to touch them. Call somebody who knows about them. Once I learn about them, that'll be a different story, but I'm not going to go out there and try to do something that I don't know about or know what I'm doing with. So know what you're doing on what you're doing before you do it. Don't make a bad name for yourself. You get a bad name, it's not going to end well for you. You might as well go ahead and do away with your business and start over under a different name if you're going to try it again. What else? Be insured. Get your insurance. Do your research on your insurance. I'm with Nationwide right now. I pay about $170 a month for my vehicle, my equipment, and $1 million policy. I'm about to switch to State Farm. I'm going to have 2 vehicles, my equipment, and $1 million liability policy for about the same thing I pay now at Nationwide. So we're making the switch. We're just waiting for our date to lapse with Nationwide so we don't double pay for both policies, both companies. Liability insurance can be a great thing. It's worth paying that few dollars a month for, because God forbid the unfortunate happen and you don't have it, you're going to wish you did. And it looks good when you're talking to people. You know, tell them, hey, I'm insured fully, so if the unthinkable happens, it'll be taken care of. They give people peace of mind, knowing that you're not just, you know, some guy off the street trying to run around cut grass for a living. That says, hey, I'm a professional. You don't have to have it to be a professional, guys, by no means. But it sets you a notch above the rest. It makes you different. So, get your LLC or whatever. I'd recommend that. That covers you for a liability standpoint. With the LLC, it helps protect your personal assets from your business assets if something happens. So some of that's worth having. It cost me $125 a year in North Carolina. You can't go wrong spending $125 a year. Get your chemical spray license wherever you're at. I go take my test in November, so I've been waiting for it to come to my area. It's been either at the coast or in the mountains, which are 3 to 5 hours away, and I just couldn't see myself doing it. So anybody who wanted it, I recommend it. A couple of the big companies that are all over the place, you guys know who they are. You see them in your area, but next year that's going to be something I'm going to do. So I'll be able to offer a full range of services, and also going to offer 12-month payment plans to include everything, so it makes it a little more cost friendly, and it keeps you money coming in year round, which is a big bonus, guys. Something else, if you get burned, something I said I was going to talk about. This may not be the case for every state. North Carolina, I have learned, you go do work for somebody and they don't pay you, pretty much is what it is. Write it off in bad debt and keep going. If you don't have a contract. If you have a contract signed, that's their butt. If they breach that contract and they agree to a yearly price at so many payments with the contract, and they do not go about canceling their contract the right way, they owe you every dime of that contract. They can't get out of it. My contracts have a 30-day termination clause, 30-day written notice. So that puts me either cutting you 2 more times or 4 more times, and it's terminated. Which, I mean, if somebody wants to terminate, it's no big deal. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. Like I said, where you lose 1, you'll pick up 2. So don't worry about it. But with a contract, you can get your money. Without a contract, you're not going to see your money more than likely. Keep sending them letters, keep yada 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 them. Eventually, you're going to be spent more money in printers, ink, paper, stamps, and envelopes, and your time than they owe you. So write off bad debt at the end of the year, tax time, and keep going. Don't worry about it. So that's kind of wrap up there, I guess. I'll probably do another video kind of in detail on the equipment changes I'm looking at while I'm looking at going to the Toro grandstands here in the near future. Try to get some more videos out. I know a lot of y'all are looking forward to the first annual Lawn Care, Lawn Pros, YouTube, whatever convention at the GIA Expo. Fortunately, I can't be there this year. It's in the middle of October and it's in the middle of a week. So, kind of hard for me. Still running solo to be able to do that. So, next year I'll be there. And I'll probably buy a steel trimmer while I'm there from an exhibitor or a local dealer or whatever, because I know the guys talking about doing some raffles. Brad with Your Way Lawn Care will be there next year with a brand new steel FS90, FS94, one or the other. Comment below. Tell me which one you want. Which one you'd like to see brought to the Expo next year. So it'll be the 2015 Expo, not the 2014. 2015. Tell me what trimmer you want to see there, and I'll have it for the, and we'll raffle it off. So, kind of my gift to you. Just, you guys have been supportive of me and kept me going. So, yeah, I like to give back a little bit. May bring a couple other little things in there. I have some different trimmer line, pools of trimmer line, and who knows what else might show up. So, we'll definitely have fun. I hate I can't be there this year because I know it's going to be enjoyable with everybody. But I'll see y'all next year. So, but that's been a year for me. Y'all keep mowing, keep growing, keep pushing, for new clients. Keep praying, most importantly, guys. Power of prayer is endless. Talk to him, he'll bring you whatever you need. Y'all be safe out there, guys. See you.